Hello, RPGdon here. Welcome back to our custom class series. Today, we're going to make the Archer. First, we'll go to our database cogwheel, types, and make two new weapon types, the crossbow and the shortbow. Once we have that, we'll go to our weapons and make our two new weapons, the crossbow and the shortbow. After giving both of them a name and an image and a description if you like, we go to our weapon type and match our corresponding type to our new weapon. Crossbow to crossbow, and shortbow to shortbow. Once you apply, go to your skills tab. You'll need to change maximum and add 8 to this number. Once you have your 8 new tabs, you'll click the first row and make our first skill. Name it Spot On, give it an image, a description, MP cost 5, scope 1 enemy, indication battle screen. For our new skill type, we'll go back to types, change maximum to add more row to skill types, and name it Archery. Going back to our skill tab, and back to our Spot On skill, we can change our skill type to Archery. We'll give it a message and have no required weapon. Under damage, we'll give it damage type HP damage and give it the normal attack formula. Critical hits yes, and leave variance at 20. This skill does damage and also lowers the evasion rate of the enemy. We do this by adding a state. We'll make a new state by going to our states tab, changing the maximum, clicking our row, and name it evasion down. We'll give it an image, the messages, auto remove timing turn end, and put 1 and then 2 in the other box. We'll change the parameter by clicking a new row, parameters tab, EX parameter, and hit rate, and set it to 10%. Click OK when you're done, and then apply. You can then go back to your skill, go back to Spot On, double click your effects, add state, evasion down 100%, and click OK. Since you're an archer and you use arrows, we will need to type in this note tag to let the game know that this skill uses arrows. You will also need to download a plugin. I'll leave the name of the plugin and a link to the plugin in the description. The 10 here represents where your arrow item is on the list of your items. We'll go to our items tab, and then you'll see that my arrow is under number 10. Whatever number is to the left of the arrow spot when you make your arrow item, you'll put that number here where 10 is. The 1 here represents how many arrows you use every time you use this skill. I've set it to 1, so you use 1 arrow every time you use the skill. Under the items tab, our actual arrow item is simply a regular item that's not consumable with no scope, called arrow and given an image. Back to our skills tab. When all this is done, we can go to our next tab. We'll call this skill double shot, image and description, skill type archery, MP cost 10, scope 1 enemy, battle screen occasion. Under invocation, change repeat to 2, give it a message, and change the weapon type to crossbow. Under damage, we'll put HP damage, put this as our formula, we're changing the 4 to a 5, critical hits yes, and our same ammo code. Instead of 1 arrow being used, 2 arrows will be used for this skill. Moving on to our next skill, angled arrows, which hits 2 random enemies. Skill type archery, MP cost 10, scope 2 random enemies, and battle screen occasion. Our message and weapon type shortbow, HP damage and the same formula as double shot, 5 instead of 4, critical hits yes, and our ammo note tag. Our next skill, surprise arrow, hits 1 enemy with a 50% chance to stun. MP cost 15, skill type archery, scope 1 enemy, message and the weapon type crossbow, HP damage, our attack formula, but instead of a 5, it'll be a 6 this time. Our ammo note tag, and you'll notice that there's a new state here, stun. We'll make stun by going to our states tab, giving a new row, our messages, auto removal timing turn end, duration in turns 1 and then 2, an abnormal SV motion, the name and image, and our restriction cannot move. Once this is done, we go back to our skills, double click effects, state, add state, and stun 100%. Click OK, and once this is done, apply. Our next skill, deep arrow. It's a single target attack with a 50% chance to wound. Skill type archery, MP cost 15, scope 1 enemy, message, short bow as a required weapon, HP damage, and our formula with a 6. Our ammo note tag and critical hits. Our state is wound. We'll go back to states to make our wound. A new row, wound, name, image, abnormal SV, auto timing removal turn end, 1 and 2 in our messages. To make the effect, double click a row, parameters, EX parameter, HP regeneration, and we put minus 10%. OK, and apply when you're ready, and go back to your skills. Under Effects, we'll double click Add States, State, Add State, Wound 100%. OK, and apply when this is ready. Our level 4 skill, Power Shot, doesn't require a weapon, has our same note tag, description, skill type archery, MP cost 20, battle screen occasion, scope on enemy, HP damage, our formula, but with an A tier instead of a 6, yes to critical hits, and once this is done, go to our next skill, Rapid Arrow Fire. This attack hits one enemy 3 times, so our invocation repeat will be 3. We'll add our message, and required weapon crossbow. Have our note tag, yes critical hits, and our formula with a 7. Our last skill will be Arrow Storm. This skill hits all enemies, skill type archery, scope all enemies, MP cost 25, battle screen occasion, our message, and the short bow as a weapon. Our note tag will be the same, but instead of a 1 or a 2, it will be a 3. HP damage and our formula will be a 7. Once all your skills are done, you can go to your Classes tab and create your archer. You'll name it Archer, and make sure there's an Equip Weapon Crossbow and an Equip Weapon Shortbow. Double clicking a row, Equip tab, Equip Weapon, and then your bows, then OK, will give you what you're looking for. Under Add Skill Type, we'll right click Magic, Edit, and change Magic to Archery, and click OK. Now, we'll add our skills at the correct levels. Once all this is done, apply, OK, and you have your archer. That's it for this class. Please like and subscribe to show your support. If you have any ideas of what class I should make, please leave a comment about it. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.